Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks. For a little change of pace, I was following this early this morning in the gold market just to show you. This was yesterday's action in the gold, and we had a $120 move up. You can see this morning we pulled right back here. This was exactly 382 off of this low right here. You can see the other 382 here. Then all day, look at now. This is a 13-minute chart, so it took a little over an hour to pull down right here at 380. Now all that, if you added all the things up, that gave you a price objective of all these ABCDs up there at 34.17. That's what we were looking at in the gold. We sold it at 15 with a stop at 25. Whether it works or not, I'm not too worried about it, because if you miss this one, you'll catch another one, okay? So that's what I just wanted to show you. If you're following these things intraday, they have a tremendous ability to tell you when the market's usually getting ready to turn, especially when you're hitting 382s, and that's what's so exciting. Now, there's many, many things happening today here, folks. By the way, I did want to share with you that that New York Stock Exchange index chart that we had on yesterday. We made that ABCD pattern. It went just a tad higher right here, and now we backed off, which was what we were expecting, and so far, that is what's really going on. Regarding the gold market, I wanted to show you something here, folks. This is the open interest in gold over the past month, and you'll notice here we had a big spike in open interest when we made our first high, way back there at 3,200, if you remember, and then since that time, we've had a couple of big spikes in here, one on April 3rd, another one here on April 22nd, but all the rest of the time, the volume has been dropping, and open interest used to be, roughly 500,000. We're now roughly, we're about 50,000 under that. And it's just, this means that the market's weakening, but that doesn't understand that. So that's what I wanted to bring it to your attention, because you can see the volume dropping off as we've had this big correction too. There's high was made in here, then we sold off for a few days, and then we're starting to rally back. We've rallied back over $200 an ounce here in a matter of just a couple of days. So it's still active, and it's still looking pretty good. All right, now the next one we're going to take a look at here. We'll get up here, and we want to look at a couple things. One very interesting one that we talked about, the gold's still going up. Looks like this is going to be a very short-lived. Yeah, we're going to get tagged on this one, but there's nothing I can do about that. So let's not even worry about it. Let's just get out of the way here so we don't have to see it anymore. Hold on a second. Here's the British pound. This one was a real beauty. We've had this on the watch list this morning on the thing, because remember, we had a real nice short yesterday right here, had a really nice back off. And then today, look at the action today, folks. There is a perfect head and shoulders pattern right here. There's your left shoulder. Okay, there's your head. There's your right shoulder. You see your right shoulder is under your left shoulder. This means it's good. Where does it stop? Exactly at the 786 at 134.04. We're already down, a little bit from that level. So that's right now your stop would be right above here. That'd be almost a risk-free trade. So that's why we're, paying very, very close attention to that one here today. Now, we also should look at the euro, because the euro is still weaker than the pound. Now, the pound had some news about war with Russia, whatever the heck that means. But you can see here, we've been down at this level for quite a few days now without much of a rally. And you remember, we've been watching that 382 the whole way. And you'll see there's your high right here. There's your 382 came in right there. Now we're making similar highs, but we still have not taken this out. Now, early this morning, you can see that here. This was about midnight New York time. We did make an ABCD, absolutely perfect one in the euro, saying that a rally was most probably coming. You can see the AB leg right there. There's your CD leg right there, right on the money. And stops. Well, it doesn't draw it right because of the sensitivity of it, but it is correct. Let's just double check to see if I'm right on that correct part. Let's just blow that up. We might be off by a little bit. Let's check. There's your 382. There's your AB leg right there. So we're just going to, shucks. I want to do it the right way. Hold on. I'm going to draw it like a pencil. There's your AB leg right there. And then all I have to do is clone that. And we'll see how close it comes to the exact low. And it is, oh boy, it's pretty close. It misses it by, about 4 or 5 pips, but that's accurate enough from my standpoint because that's pretty close. And then, of course, we have another ABCD looking at it again. Where is it going to take us? Right back to that really strong resistance at that 382 level, just a little bit higher right up in there, and that's where it should run into some problems, just like the British pound. So that's what we're watching here with the two major currencies. And then we want to cover one more time, and that is the Japanese yen here, because we've been following that, and it's been moving along pretty good. So let's get it over here, get it up right there. And there's where we tried to get this off yesterday. It had an ABCD, as you can see, but it didn't quite reach our price objective. And, of course, we're coming down pretty hard again today, telling us that the dollar is still weak against the yen. I had a little tiny 3-hour rally here that I don't even think made a 382 off of anything. Let's just double check here. Wow, came pretty close, missed it by a couple of pennies, but that's pretty much it. Speaking of a couple of pennies, let's take something and look at something that really affects all of us, folks. All I've got to do now is to find it, and there it is right here. This is, by the way, the United States Treasury bond, and we have held that support. There it is right there. You can see we talked about it today. It has some really strong support down this. We hit it 1, 2, 3 times right there. 114. Now, we only rallied about 20 pips, but at least it held that support so far today. That was a 61% retracement of the high way back here. Let's see, let's get this in so you can see it together. It was 61% of that move right here and 78% of that move. Oh, excuse me, folks. That's not going to blame that on anybody but me. We have rain here today in Tucson. Like yesterday, a high is only 68. But when the rain comes, they feed those beautiful yellow trees, and they're going to come after me a little later. But right now, I'm doing all right. Hold on one second here, and we'll move on to the next one. Here is one that we've been in for a while, and I suggested we're probably getting ready to have some type of a move down. This is the meal. We had a $5 profit in it at one time. It's now back to the same price. We've hit this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and I was saying we're probably going to go a little bit lower. And what I was doing when I was doing that, I was looking at the soybean oil and the soybean meal at the same time to see if there was a reason for it. And I found the reason. So let's get this back up here, and we'll take a look here at the July soybeans, okay? And we'll be right back, and we're going to cover soybeans when we get back, folks. Stay with us.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a look at July soybeans here, folks. This is the new old crop soybeans. These are the ones that are already in the bin. They're selling them all over the world. And this contract expires the 3rd week of July. But look at it, folks. We're almost at a 382 retracement. We've taken out the previous day's low by 0.5 cent, haven't gone anywhere. This is not a bearish chart, folks. Look at this. You look at this, you've got a really nice ABCD pattern setting right there. If you could get that just a tiny bit lower, only needs to go 7 cents lower, and I'd be a buyer there, and then putting a stop below the 618. So probably that meal will still be okay, but I wanted to wait a day. So we'll get this out of the way here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the new crop soybeans. This is the one that we're watching here intraday and daily. And here's where we are with this. There's the soybeans on the hourly chart. Now you'll notice here we're also we have to redraw that because of the it went a little bit higher, so we have to draw that 382 in differently. There it is from there to there. You can see we hit it once and we almost hit it again today. Didn't quite make it. So this is also acting pretty bullish. Now you can see here it has this drew in wrong. Just a minute, folks. Sorry about that. Doggone it. This thing is so darn sensitive that it doesn't always hit the one you not want to look at. So there's where we are. We did hit it. We're sitting at that level right now. And over the last few days, you do have an ABCD to the downside. This is not a bearish chart either, folks. I wouldn't mind being long November or July, either one, but I'm not doing anything in them today because I'm watching a couple other things, of course. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So, and it looks like I haven't seen the fill yet, but I imagine we're really close to getting hit in the, not yet, but we're there. Hold on just a second. We'll get this out of the way. This is one of those that just didn't work. You see, as we're getting ready to get stopped out right up in here, so we'll see it. My stop is at 34.25, and we hit 34.2350. So this is going to be toast. There's a small ABCD here, but I'm only going to risk $10 in this. I have no other way of looking at that except for, taking it one step at a time here. All right, now we'll get this out of the way so we don't have to look at that. And let's move over here a little bit. Now we're going to take a little bit of time here on the crude oil. Now here's crude oil for the day. Draw this up and see. We had a little bit of move, but started backing off in this area right here. But what we want to do with crude oil is to go and look at the 4-hour, folks, because I think we've got a chance here. Time out. Wow. What I'm going to do now is go to a weekly chart, because there's a really good chance that we've made a week. We talked about this yesterday. We've got a pretty good chance that this down here could be a really big weekly area. We went through all of these ABC. We're going to do a couple of them right here just to show you what we were watching yesterday. We had the big ABCDs coming in there. You can see we've went down to the, well, it's not going to be right. We're very close. So now we're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and we've held this bottom here now 2 days in a row. So the first thing we want to start to look for this morning, you'll see we're going to get a big pop here. There's what I was looking for today. I was thinking possibly, see, here was a low on Sunday. Okay, now we made a 61% retracement here. We pointed this out before because this was old news on Monday. There's where we were. Okay, now when we got to that told us that we were most probably going to go up and make an ABCD to the upside, and that would have been this one right here. And then you got, this took 2.5 hours to make this 382 retracement, and we didn't quite get to the 1.618 level as of yet. But look at this, folks. We've actually gone $4 a barrel here the last 2 days, and that's coming off of a pretty big bottom. So start watching for those 382 retracements. You see you've got another one here right now. We'll just draw it in. There was our 382 here, so the next one should be pretty close to 382 also, if it's doing the right thing. And well, it went almost to the 50%. It's there right now, but it still has a bias, and it looks like it still wants to move higher. Okay, so that's what we're watching. Regarding the cattle, if you're in August, you're doing great. If you're not, you have to keep your stop working on the cattle. It's 1.5 points away, so upward history on the gold. I took a loss on that one, so that's, I don't run a risk any more than $10, folks. I can take quite a few $10 losers, but before I don't want to get hit too bad. Let's get back here to the E-mini S&P, because we're starting to move down a little bit more here. This was that 135 that we were looking at. Now, if we do by any chance get below this level right here, okay, that was the level that this is 56.05 last night. We rallied, believe it or not, 70 handles, folks. We get all the way up here. That makes this the 135. Now, if that's the case, this is the level you'll be watching for the next support, because there's your A leg, B leg, C leg, D leg, and you're going to see how close it comes to, you know what, there's your 61. So somewhere between 55.70 and 55.58, that's going to be a 1, 2, 3 day correction. That should be very, very important. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move this over. See, that would be right at your 61% retracement. But we've got other lows back here to watch, okay? Fact is, we've got a big one right here. That was the one that on the 24th of April, if you remember that one being Thursday, and then there was Friday, the big move. So we have to measure that one from this low right here to the high, and then we're going to see what that brings us as we move this forward. That brings you just about, there's well, there would be the 382 of that, so that would be pretty close. But this is the number you want to be watching right here. Is this level 558? There's a 50% of that move. So there's a cluster of numbers here between 55.90 and 55.75. We should get to that level once we take out this, but we have to take out this first, because all we're seeing now is just a morning pullback, going back to the smaller time frame. There was a news item that came out. The market broke, and all it's done, you'll see it come down, stopped dead on, right at the 61% retracement, and now it's getting ready to break through that. Uh-oh, did we have a 382 on this last little bump here? Let's just double check. Let's go to the 8-minute, and we'll see. This is what I do all day long, folks. Yeah, there it is. Here's what we want to see. Okay, there's a pullback. Then it rallies here for 45 minutes. Let's see where the rally went to. And it missed the misses it by 1 point. went to 43.75. The number was 46.45, missed about a point and a half. That also leads to the fact that you could start to move down to that level also once you take out this low. So I'm going to put this limit minder in to see if it starts to work, and we're going to find out how that's going to unwork. How it's going to work before we get finished towards here at the end of the day. I think by looking at the clock on the wall, we might be ready for a commercial. Let's just double check. 32 seconds. Al says that's a whole lifetime, Larry. So we'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, I'm going to read a letter here. I've said many times I do this to try to help people, but this is one that I really enjoyed reading. It says, I was a broker. First of all, in the early part of the letter, he says he's a farmer back in the Midwest, and he's also worked for Merrill Lynch. And he also, I'll read this, he was our broker at Merrill Lynch between 73 and 78. And then I got into the options business and successfully traded for years. I bought a seat on the Chicago Board Options Exchange, had 10 lucrative years until 1987 when the crash came and I lost $2.1 million. I've had a wonderful wife and 5 children who have done very well. I traded for 3 years, but the CBO charged margins and all the commissions were just too much. And I thought of becoming a broker again, but it was easier being a farmer. I've worked with wealthy investors, and however, in 2000, the commissions dropping, I opened a hedge fund, which did okay up until 2013. We shut it down, and I traded with Merrill Money since that time. So for 2 or 3 years, I've been trading with a friend of yours who's one of your subscribers. He's been forwarding on your letter and stuff, and I want to thank you because I got short the stock market when you said to get short, and I made almost all of my money back. And I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And this is a little motivation. I'm going to send you a little gift here. You can do with whatever you like. And so I tried it in the Kentucky Derby. Well, I didn't either. But anyway, when I get a letter like that, and I get them, not all the time, but I do get them, and it really makes me really feel really good. One of my most famous favorable things is when Jill was in college at UCLA. She worked as a waitress at Ship's Restaurant just to get a little extra money on the weekend. And she was there one day, and she had her name tag on. And the guy came in with his wife, and it was early in the morning, and he said, "Are you related to Larry Pesavento?" And she said, "Yeah, that's my dad." He says, "Well," he said, "when you see the old man," he said, "you tell him that we owe him a lot." And they said some really nice things about me. Of course, I had to pay him to do that. But anyway, that's when Jill called me back. She said, that was pretty cool, that somebody actually saw my name and knew who I was. Usually when they go in the post office, they see the names. Anyway, that's it. Here's the Russell. You can see the Russell, same 135 pattern today, rallied up to the 50% level, sold off quite a bit since then. Same thing. If we break below here, we'll be heading down a little bit lower. So far, all we're looking now, folks, is a little 3 to 5. We're already 3 days in, so we're looking at about a 5-day correction. And if that ABCD comes in, it's going to be a little bit lower. And that's really what we're watching. So I hope that helps as we watch these things, as we see these things happening. Okay. All right. Let's move over here. And we covered that. We've already talked about the gold. Well, let's review the gold market. I didn't do anything wrong. I did everything right. I thought it was going to stop here, and it didn't. It went higher. I lost. That's all. That's the bottom line, folks. Hey, I was looking at buying it this morning down here. Look at this beautiful 382 right there, just right on the money. And it had a heck of a rally. I mean, pulled right back to the 382 and then exploded to the upside. So missed it, though. Had a couple other things that were doing all right. So let's get this out of the way, and we got that taken care of. The Treasury bonds, let me go back and just review this Treasury bond, folks. This is a market that has serious problems. I don't know why they're not telling us what it is, but something is wrong. Look at this, folks. We have a 7-day correction. Okay, we go from 117, 3 points, not a big deal, but no rally through this thing. Interest rates have been going higher, not lower. When this goes down, interest rates are going higher. And now we're starting to see a rally. Now, this is a pretty good rally. Remember, the last rally we had went from 116 to 117. This has already gone. 115 is your 382 right here. So if it doesn't do any worse than the last time, it's not going to get any higher than that. Something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but this is the bond market. Now let's take a look at the note market, because that's the big one. That's the one that's about 6 times the size of this one here. And it is ST. There it is right there. That is an hourly. You'll see we're looking at the same thing, only this one's got a nice little ABCD here. Now there's the notes. Okay, now you can see we had the big move down. Okay, there's your 786. This is the same one. Now you see this one went below the 786. The bonds held. This did not. So this is the bigger one. Now, it's had a pretty good rally here this morning, which you can see an ABCD completing. There's AB, CD. Well, let's just look at this so we can see it clearly. Okay, the first one we want to look for is the 382 of the whole thing, and that would bring you up here about another few points, which is right there. Now we had one tiny little ABCD pattern right here, folks. Do you see that one? That took the third, fourth. That took 2 days to complete, and all it was doing was making it looks like about a 382, and no, it's closer to 50% of that move right there. You know, it is. It's 382. And now we come down and made a lower low, and now what we're doing in the notes, we're going to blow it up so you can see it. Remember, this is interest rates, car loans, and all this other stuff, mortgages. Okay, there's the ABCD. It looks like we've made it already. Is that right? Nope, not quite. Somewhere between 111.12, and we're at 111.09 now, and 111.16, 111.17. That should be the extent of the rally, if in fact that's what it's going to be doing. You can see it's doing pretty much what it did well, it did more than the last time. So this is a better rally coming off that low than the other one. So that's also a good spot to take a look at. But there's something's not right, okay? And that, hey, again, that's my 2 cents worth. And, you know, you just heard from somebody that just lost $1,000 in gold. But that's the way it stops. And, you know, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. All right, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ has been really weak, folks. It doesn't have any friends like it used to have. There was the same, this is where we were a few days ago. Then we had the big run up. There was your 382 retracement right here. We pointed that out. Now we went below that 382 retracement, telling you that the trend is most probably changed. You see, you went to stay there for 1, 2, 3 hours, and then you had the run up, and now we took that low out by just a little bit here early this morning. And what we do, we rallied up to the 50% level. There's the 135 pattern, and now we're moving down. That tells us we're probably getting ready to move a little bit lower here as we unfold with this one right here. When we get back, I'm going to be, let's see what our clock on the wall says here for Al. We got an hour. Ooh, 1 more minute. Let's just take a look at a few stocks, and then we'll get back to a couple things. I always do these, folks, because I have 2 or 3 people that are heavily involved in Apple and NVIDIA and also in Tesla, and I want to bring it on. You know, they've beaten the heck out of Apple. You can see here it's had a rally, and then it hasn't done anything here. And the fact is, it's actually doing pretty good considering, you know, where we were back here on April the 8th. We rallied, we rallied about $50. And now all we pulled back now is right to the 382. So it's holding up okay. Sure is. Let's take a look. There it is, right there. Today we're sitting at it right there. So we'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, this is Tesla, and really we haven't made the 382 off of the big high way back here, back in December. Remember, there was your 61% retracement ABCD, and then we had to move down. There was your 382 right here, another 382. All we've done in Tesla, folks, since April, this is when the bottom was made here. We had a double bottom. Okay, this was the April 7th bottom when everything took off, and all it's done is complete an ABCD to the upside. That's all that's done. We'll just draw that in because you'll be able to see it right here. There's your AB leg right here. There's your CD leg right there. And you know, we have that little gap, so you know you're going to be right up in there. You just take out the previous day's high by a little bit. What do you took out? They took out the April high and didn't go anywhere. So that's a sign that this market's had a good rally. We rallied 80 points, but it's not doing too much. As you can see today, it is down a little bit. Now, if we look at NVIDIA, I wanted to bring that to your attention here. Here's NVIDIA, and as you can see here with NVIDIA, it's also doing pretty much the same thing that we've had going on. Now, remember, there's our target is up into this level right here. Now, this is a 60-minute, but let's look at this on the daily because this will give us a better eye view. There's where we are, and you can see there's the high that we made right back here. That was back at the January high. Then we came back. We took out the high of April by just a little bit, just a couple days ago. So let's see if that was a 382 retracement off of the high. So there's your high right here. And there's your 382 came in here at 112. The high was 114, and we're trading at 112. We're roughly 113 right now, so we're still setting right at the 382 retracement. Okay, now let's move over here and take a quick look at Palantir. This has been one that got hit with some bad news yesterday, and here's where we've been. This has been a really strong stock, folks. You remember we got all the way down to 107. And, well, we're breaking down now in the S&P here. Let's get this up here because we got a position on in that. We want to put the limit minders in so we can see where we are. I want to see if we get below this 15 to 55.18 level. That'll be another indication that we're still going lower. Back to Palantir. This is a 60-minute chart. If we look at this on the daily, you're going to see here we had that big run up, and all we see there, and look, it just made a new high yesterday. And then you can see, then what news came out, and the news was supposedly bad. Who knows what this stuff it does? Anyway, now we'll look here on the way up. Okay, there it is now. This is a strong stock, folks. So I would expect to get a lot of support at the 382, and it's probably really close by. So watch this stock tomorrow. Let's put this on and watch it together to see if this stuff really works. Doesn't make any difference about this news. That's the way somebody interpreted it as bullish or bearish. So there's the 382 on Palantir. Okay. Now, if this takes, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and we're not any lower than 102. It's 107 now. If it can hold that, that's going to be very, very strong. That's nothing wrong with that. No different than this one right here. There's 5 days. It didn't go anywhere. That's really good strength. So this is nothing wrong just because they interpreted the news or earnings, whatever it was. That's why I don't listen to that stuff. So anyway, all right, we'll get rid of that. All right, and we got to get rid of the other ones here so we can move on to a couple things that I want to talk about in the wheat market. Get this out of the way. The bonds are still rallying. I've got the beeper in there to tell us if we get to that 382. It's very close, and we should be done. The bonds have a problem, folks. I wouldn't buy bonds. I just don't see anything good happening with that. That's for sure. This is the Russell. We've already covered that. It's starting to. It hasn't taken out the low yet. See, we've done that in the S&P, and we've done it in the Nasdaq, but we've not done it yet in the Dow Jones. We've done it, but not in the Nasdaq. The Dow Jones done it, and I think we just did it in the Dow Jones. Let's just double check. Yeah. Oh, not yet. We're very, very close. So we haven't taken that out yet. The S&P's done it, and Russell hasn't done it, but the Nasdaq has done it. And I believe we're really close here. We're only 50 points away of the Dow Jones doing it. Maybe it'll stay. I don't know. Do one thing at a time. That's all we can do. Okay, now let's get on to the wheat market. Let's get on. That's the one that I like, wheat and beans. I'm very, very bullish wheat and beans, folks. Let's get the wheat up. The trouble with the wheat is it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. And I've called the Chicago Board and Trade. I said, how can you do this? It's supposed to come down. And they said, we have no control over that. I said, yeah, well, I know. We were looking at the Christmas wheat. Here's where we are. Okay, now we wanted it to get down a little bit lower. Let's get this chart up. Let's get the daily up because that's what we were waiting for. All right. Now the $64 question, let's just blow it up. Okay, here's where we are right now. I still think that we've got a chance that it'll come down one more time to this 3 drive to a bottom pattern right here. The reasoning for that is, well, today's low was 7-8%. Okay, so nothing really dramatic, and all we've done. We've only rallied 7-8 cents off that low. There's early morning high. There's early morning low. So I only need to get down another 17 cents. 17 cents in wheat is a heartbeat, folks. So I still want to be a buyer of the wheat. If we can get Christmas wheat, there it is. It's a 3 drive to a bottom. Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. And you remember, I said there's got to be a cycle in here somewhere too, because there's your first cycle right here. There's your second cycle right here. And where does that come up, folks? Drum roll, please, on Monday. Monday is the day, because then you have the number of days down in the move, okay? From the high to your low is 21 days. From your high to the low is 21 days. Total is 42. That's perfect symmetry. You'd have a beautiful 1.27 setting right there at 5 point. Let's write that in there. So take a look at it. 5.57. This is the same person that gave you that wonderful trade in cattle. 5.57. We're going to call it 58. 5.58. You're going to be a buyer at 5.58. You can become a farmer, and you're going to call the bank and say, "Bank, put my stop at 5.38." You're going to risk $1,000 because this is a big one, folks. That's wheat at $5. Let me show you something. Well, you can't see it because this is December, and it doesn't go back far enough. But this was many years ago. This was trading at 12. Well, let's do it the right way, Larry. Get up the real wheat so that people can see what real wheat is. And then we'll put the monthly up, and you can see it traded at just about $13. It's 12. I think it did hit 13. Yes, it did. Let's get the monthly. Weekly will do it because it goes back far enough. Okay, and you remember back here when wheat was $13? There it is. Oh, almost 14. 13.80, 13.68. The whole world loves it. And now here it is 5.35, and nobody likes the wheat. Now, if you look at this chart, and you can tell me that people are going to stop eating cookies and pasta and what else? Cookies and pasta and bread, sandwiches. No, they're not. So you just got to get ready for it. Look, we've been down here now. We've been down below $6 now for 1, 2, 3 years. These boys are not going to plant a lot of wheat down at this level. All right, let's take a break. 877-927-6648.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, we're going to review here a couple things now. We're breaking down now in stocks a little bit, getting ready to take out the early morning low. We're down. This is a second day down. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's going to be what's going to be happening on Friday will be the market has to go higher. It has to be an up week on Friday, because if it isn't, that's going to be really, really negative. Now, I based all this on what was happening with the New York Stock Exchange Index, folks, because that compiled all of the patterns together on this thing, and that's why this is it right here. See, that's what I was looking at. This was the ABCD. Now, you didn't get those. You got it in the NASDAQ. You got it in the Russell, but it didn't make it in the S&P, and it went above it in the Dow. So there was a difference, what they call a bifurcated market, as Basil always say. But this is what we're watching here. So this means our pullback should be at least 5 days. This is only the second day down. So if you did the short at the 382 at 56.54 today, put your stop at break even and let it rip and see what happens. We'll look at the gold at another time. We went above the long-term 786 in the gold, folks. That was at 34.07 today, and we hit as high as 34.26, I believe. I should remember that one, shouldn't I? Okay, so that's what we're watching as we look at these things unfold here today. I wanted to show one other thing. Regarding the thing with 1929, folks, I don't see any relationship. It was really good here until April the 7th. All we're doing now is making a 1 month rally like we did here. This was November 11th. This was December 11th. This was April. This is May, so it's done that. But other than that, there's nothing else there that I can say what happened. It would have been nice, but they changed the rules on the tariffs on the 7th and still did okay, but that's the way it goes. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless, and we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow, folks.